good morning. Welcome to your Wednesday. It is looking good outside. Sunshine, we got that in abundance, and it's already 64 degrees. And news brought to you by Portsmouth Cancer Care and Associates. Dr. Inashita, Dr. Jaffrey, where the care, compassion, and roadmap to your recovery begin. Once again, here's Bill Shope.
Thank you, Steve, and good morning, everyone. Monday's Portsmouth City Council meeting was a long one with a wide range of topics that were covered, and that included the concerns surrounding recovery housing and city limits. Mayor Charlotte Gordon spoke with me about the controversial issue.
One of the more notable parts of the meeting was a large constituency of Fifth Ward citizens that came concerned that there is a recovery house moving into the Fifth Ward on Old Post Road. And they did have a lot of questions. We have made a lot of changes to code enforcement as to how many people can live in the house, that the houses need to meet all code regulations. And the state has also passed a lot of regulations that will go into practice in January. And this will be regulated by state institutions and not by the city code enforcement. So we're going to work with those citizens so they feel better about what's going on in their neighborhood and get all of their questions answered.
Council members also took on a number of resolutions, including one that Mayor Gordon talked with me about.
It was a longer meeting than we usually have, but we did accomplish a lot of business. We did have a public hearing. Those people that were interested could come down and speak on a new downtown revitalization district. And this would allow other businesses to grow. They could get a limited alcohol permit through establishments throughout the city. This is something that has grown in popularity throughout the state.
In an ongoing story, fraud involving SNAP cards is on the rise here in Ohio. Now, those are the cards used by people who receive food assistance from the state. Melissa Andrews has details.
Ohio's Department of Job and Family Services says scammers are putting devices over card readers at cash registers to steal your SNAP card information. The department reports more than $4.2 million was reimbursed to more than 8,500 Ohioans from October of 2022 to August of 2024. One way to avoid getting your information skimmed is to check the card reader device before you buy.
We now turn to a similar topic where it's being reported that thousands of Ohio students come from a food insecure household, and a coalition is trying to help alleviate that struggle. The co-founder of Hunger Free Schools Ohio, Catherine Unger, has a coalition that's pushing for the creation of a free lunch program for all students, regardless of their household income. Unger said at the moment, 1 in 5 school students in Ohio are coming from a food insecure household, and 1 in 3 of those students do not qualify for federal free and reduced meal programs in schools. Now, in the last state operating budget, money was allocated to go toward free breakfast and lunch for students. But to make a universal free lunch program, Edwards said it is projected to cost $300 million. From Mix 99.3 News, I'm Bill Shope.
And how are your finances here these days?
I wish I had $300 million.
Well, I'm not being nosy. It just happens to be National Financial Day, actually. The actual name of the holiday today is National Financial Awareness Day.
I'm very aware of my finances.
Are you really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sometimes much to my chagrin.
Well, it's funny that this would come just days after the stock market lost almost 1,100 points.
Yeah, well, it did, but then it did rebound a little bit.
Yeah. Well, everybody's got their lot in life, trying to earn a little extra cash. I thought it was kind of cute. A couple of kids I ran into last week had never been to church.
Okay.
And so anyway, they were talking amongst themselves. I overheard them about their first experience at church. And one kid was asking, he said, man, it was a lot of fun going to that church. And he said, yeah, I liked it. He says, what did you like best? He said, did you like the singing? And the other kid said, no, I liked it, but that wasn't the best thing. Well, did you like the message that the pastor delivered? He said, well, that was good too. He said, but that wasn't the best thing I liked about going to church for the first time. And he said, well, let me ask you, what was it? What was the thing you enjoyed most? He said, I liked the part where they passed out the free money. So, there you go. So kids are, they're trying to make a dime as well.
Another chapter of Steve Hayes growing up.
This update brought to you by Portsmouth Cancer Care and Associates. Dr. Inishita, Dr. Jaffrey, with the care, compassion, and roadmap to your recovery begin. For over 30 years, Dr. Inishita and his staff at Portsmouth Cancer Care and Associates have been changing lives with the most comprehensive treatment and cure for cancer in the area. During this time in Portsmouth, Dr. Inishita has created a name of patient excellence in the highest degree and will continue that fight with each and every patient towards the cure. Dr. I, as he's known by his thousands of friends, is proud to announce the addition of Dr. Hassan Jaffrey to the staff of Portsmouth Cancer Care and Associates. Dr. Jaffrey's medical expertise is with all cancers as well as treatment of blood disorders, bone marrow, and the immune system. Together, Dr. Inishita and Dr. Jaffrey create a very special team that's there when it comes to fighting back to regain your good health. Feel free to stop in and welcome Dr. Jaffrey to the staff at 916 11th Street or call 353-4884. It's Portsmouth Cancer Care and Associates of Portsmouth, always there with the care, the compassion, and the roadmap to your recovery. Here's 737 downtown Sunshine, 64 and ONN.
This is ONN. I'm Jay Fox on the Ohio News Network. A Central Ohio police officer is now facing murder charges. Kevin Landers of ONN affiliate WBNS-TV in Columbus has the story.
Glendon Township Officer Connor Grubb is now facing 4 counts of murder, felony assault, and involuntary manslaughter. Those charges involve both Young and her unborn child. Family spoke at a news conference and said this last year has been a whirlwind of hurt and pain. Meantime, the Fraternal Order of Police is speaking out against this decision, saying they are deeply disappointed. And their statement reads in part, like all law enforcement officers, Officer Grubb had to make a split-second decision, a reality all too familiar for those who serve to protect our communities.
A child was hospitalized in critical condition after nearly drowning in a public pool in central Toledo Monday evening. ONN's Angela Ann reports.
The 11-year-old child jumped the fence at the Roosevelt Pool near the Mott Branch Library. That pool is closed on Mondays. When police arrived on scene, they found the child unresponsive and began administering life-saving measures until Toledo Fire and Rescue crews arrived. The child was taken to the hospital in what police described in their report as critical condition.
In southeast Ohio, Zanesville has been named the second most charming small town in the U.S. by Beltway Insider. Museums, art galleries, landmarks, and of course the Y Bridge helped edge out Decatur, Georgia for the top spot. For the Ohio News Network, I'm Jay Fox.
Zanesville? What about Portsmouth, Ohio?
Oh, yeah, what about Portsmouth, Ohio? I mean, I've been to Zanesville.
Hey, we're charming here, you know. We're really charming.
Yeah.
We are charming, aren't we?
Absolutely. Some say it's where Southern hospitality begins.
Well, it's written on the flood wall,
Exactly.
so it must be gospel.
It must be, right.
It is time for sports. 7:39 brought to you this morning by Collier Medical, 1661 State Route 522. And these folks have it all, everything from federal and general contracting to occupational medicine. And once again, here's Chuck.
Thank you, Steve. Great night for the Cincinnati Reds in the Queen City last night as the Reds defeated the visiting St. Louis Cardinals 4-1. And with that victory, the Reds have already won this series as they have taken the first 2 games of the 3-game set. They'll go for the sweep later today. Jimmer Candelario hit a home run. It was his 19th of the season. Here's how that sounded on the Reds Radio Network.
Now the 2-1 pitch. And Candelario launches high and very deep to right, way back there and gone. A 2-run home run for Jimmer Candelario, about a third away up the seats and right. That doubles the Reds' lead. It is 4-0.
That was Tommy Thrall and Jeff Brantley on the call for the Reds Radio Network. TJ Friedel also had a couple of hits in last night's Reds win. Hunter Green was the victorious pitcher. He had quite the outing as he went the first 7 innings, giving up just 1 run off of 4 hits. He struck out 8 Cardinal batters and improved his record to 9-4. Alexis Diaz logged his 24th save of the season. The Reds have moved up to 3rd place in the National League Central standings, 8.5 games out. The Reds are just 1 game behind the 2nd place Cardinals, so a win tonight would tie Cincinnati with St. Louis for 2nd place within the division. Cincy is currently 4.5 games out in the wild card race, and the Reds are only 2 games under 500. Cincinnati and St. Louis will go at it again this evening to conclude this set, and you can hear tonight's contest on Fox Sportsmouth AM 1260 and 95.7 FM. Coverage will get underway at 6:10, leading up to the 6:40 first pitch. The Cleveland Guardians took down the Chicago Cubs 2-1 last night. Cleveland will entertain Chicago again this evening for a 6:40 start. The Guardians hold a 3.5-game lead in the AL Central. In NFL news, ESPN is reporting that the status of J.J. McCarthy is in question after tests revealed the Minnesota Vikings rookie quarterback out of Michigan has a tear in his right knee meniscus. A final determination will be made once he undergoes surgery this week. Vikings coach Kevin O'Connell confirmed the injury yesterday, saying it occurred during Saturday's 24-23 preseason victory over the Las Vegas Raiders. Minnesota's second preseason game will be this Saturday at Cleveland. That'll be a 4:25 kickoff. The Bengals, meanwhile, will visit the Chicago Bears this Saturday at 1 o'clock. The Elks Tuesday Night Golf League concluded its season yesterday. The winning team was the American Legion James Dickey Post 23. The members of that team were Rick Atkins, Kyle Keaton, Jerry Howe, and Scott Markham. The runner-up was Morgan Brothers Jewelers. That team consisted of Corey Prost, Mike Cole, Gary Plant, and Henry Riley. Tricia Boggs has been named the newest head coach of both the Shawnee State University men's and women's swimming programs. Boggs, who is in her 8th season coaching high school swimming, spent 7 years as a USA swimming coach for Spartan Swim Club and has coached high school volleyball for 15 years as well as club volleyball. Boggs was a USA swimming athlete herself for 8 years. She has a lengthy family lineage in the sport that spans over a half-century, as her grandparents, father, and sister all have coached swimming. Your Portsmouth Insurance Sports Time is 7:43. Portsmouth Insurance is a TAH benefits partner. Call Gary Duzan for all of your employee benefit needs. And that is a look at sports.
All righty, and thank you, Chuck. Brought this morning by Call Your Medical, 1661 State Route 522 in the Berg, where we've got traffic weather coming up.
Call Your Medical in Wheelersburg offers occupational medicine with nurse practitioner Jamie Reynolds. Call Your Company has closed its primary care to focus on the occupational needs of businesses in the tri-state, offering drug screens, pre-employment and DOT physicals, as well as medical surveillance, respirator fit, and audiometric testing. Whether you're an employee or an employer needing occupational medical services, go with the convenience of Call Your Medical, 1661 State Route 522 Wheelersburg. Scheduling an appointment is recommended, but walk-ins are welcome. Call 740-574-8728 and be on the lookout for Call Your Home Medical coming soon.
Traffic is a service of your good friends at the side of the river, 1024 Gallia Street. Of course, the river will be there with legendary steaks, chicken ribs, and more coming at 11 this morning when they unlock those doors. This morning, we've got pretty good commute here for you. It's beautiful skies out there and a wonderful day. But we've also got some heat out there coming into town. Be careful. We've got some law enforcement looking at you at the 35-mile-an-hour sign there. Junior Furnace, Powellsville Road, still one lane. We've got Ohio River Road covered like a glove with the Shelley Company, including some other roads in Wheelersburg. Don't forget Lick Run Lyra in Green Township will also be resurfaced today as well. So if you see something we need to know about, give us a call at 354-1993. Traffic service of the Scioto River, open 7 days a week.
The weather is service of Mary's Spirit and Print Shop, where all regional schools are proudly represented with plenty of cool hats, shirts, sweaters, jackets, and pride. Get your school spirit on and check out the deals now at Mary's Spirit and Print Shop, 2109 Gallia Street in Portsmouth, where Mary and her graphic designer can customize anything.
First alert forecast from WSAZ. Sunny skies continue today, but the heat does creep back up all the way to the upper 80s this afternoon after starting off near 60. Pleasant after sunset, though. Another starlit night, lows in the lower 60s. Good for a while on Thursday, but it does get hotter there now across the 90-degree mark, and then we're tracking some showers for Friday.
I'm WSAZ News Channel 3 meteorologist Brandon Butcher on the Ohio Valley's hit music channel, Mix 99.3.
And sunshine right now, 65.